Welcome viewers to round number 2 of the Elite Karting Series here from Daytona Sandown Park. Will you join us for the first race of the day? This is lightweight race 1 and you join myself and Tom Dillon in the commentary box. We've just had qualifying and that has set the grid then for this race, and this is how the grid is looking.
So on pole position is Andrew McWilliam. He's at a 60.855 in the qualifying session, just about a tenth faster than Samuel Rasool with a 60.9. JJ Hind, who had a very promising round in Tamworth, sits in third, 3/10 of a second back from the grid. Then Philip Babulal, Rory O'Regan and Sam Cole make up fourth through to sixth, with Jamie Chase just behind them in the 62s. And it's Chris Klitschborth, Dana Rohan in his series debut, Henry Barrington, his first time in a D-Max karts in the wet, followed by Ollie Smith, Dylan Davis, Joshua Hera, and finally, did not qualify, is Callum Bendelow down in last place. Luke, pace kart is in the pits. We've got this race underway in a moment's time, but I'm just going to ask you, pick a winner.
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'm going to go either JJ Hyde or Sam Cole. They're the two who are experienced around here. Most of the drivers here racing at Sandown for the first time.
Well, let's get ready to find out then. It's going to be 10 minutes of racing ahead of us. We're on board with JJ Hind and we are green at Sandown Park down into turn 1. It's a very good start for JJ Hind, who looks to get the lead down into that corner. There he goes all the way down the inside, trying to get this straight away. Andrew McWilliam is alongside him. He's about to lose out, you know. JJ Hind goes straight through into that position. Incredible start, Luke.
That's a fantastic start there by JJ. I clearly predicted correct. He did a fantastic job there. Sam Cole, meanwhile, he's up the inside of Andrew McWilliam, going for second place down into turn 4. And it looks like Sam has managed to pull the move off. So Sam going from 6th to 2nd place on the first lap, whilst JJ's gone from 3rd to 1st. Those two doing a great job here. Got really good starts as we're now on board with Samuel Rasool. You can see he's just behind Philip Babelao now, trying to go for the move now down into turn 6. So Samuel didn't have the best of starts there, started in P2, gone back down the order a little bit, but he's now managing to recover as he's just managed to make his way past Philip Babelao and get his way up into around about 6th place, I believe that is.
It is, and well, through the final corner he goes. Philip Babelao not really having much of an answer to that one. We're going to ride on board for a moment with Henry Barrington, who's looking very racy indeed, looking at Philip Babelao himself. And well, I'm very impressed with Henry, how he raced in that previous round in Tamworth. Got a little picture-in-picture for you as well, so you can have a look at Philip, you can have a look at Henry, and I think Ollie Smith might be getting involved in the action in just a moment, Luke.
He is indeed. Ollie Smith right behind Henry Barrington at the moment as they exit turn 3. With just up ahead actually Samuel Rasool. He's just going for the move on Dylan Davis, and actually he nearly managed to pull that off there. He's still side by side with Dylan Davis as they go through turn 5. Can Samuel, who got off that poor start, can he make this move stick as he's up the inside of Dylan Davis going down to turn 6? He's not quite able to pull it off, but he's late on the brakes now for turn 6. We thought it was over, but he's managed to go for the move, and do you know what? I think he's managed to pull it off there. Fantastic move there by Samuel Rasool as he's now up into P5.
And well, they're battling all night long between Philip Babelal and Henry Barrington as well. Of course, Ollie Smith, who goes down the inside, and they're 3 wide down into that corner. That is incredible racing between the 3 of them. Ollie Smith now alongside Philip Babelal as they go down into turn 1. Henry Barrington on the inside of Philip, and now Henry facing, well, losing a couple of positions here. He goes down the inside of Philip. Philip is trying to edge him out eventually. Henry gets to the inside, defends that position, but Ollie Smith with a swift and a well-made double overtake.
That was superb there by Ollie. He was 8th at the start of the lap, now up into 6th place, doing a really good job here. Ollie's not familiar with 2-stroke karts really, usually he races 4 strokes. Not familiar with Sandown Park at all either. Kind of the Daytona world is a new world to him. So he's doing superb here to manage to, well, make his way all the way up into P6 today.
Someone who we haven't really been able to keep an eye on is Dana Rohan. We didn't catch it on the broadcast because of the battling that was going on ahead of him, but he had a crash down into turn 1, I believe, with Jamie Sherman Chase. You can see Jamie Sherman Chase just a little bit ahead of him. This is also Dana Rohan, who won a junior championship at Daytona Tamworth. This is one of his first races in a D-Max kart. In fact, it might be his first championship round in a D-Max kart, and not the ideal start for him.
Is indeed, yeah. Dana's defence, I saw the incident happen. Jamie basically lost it in front of him. Jamie lost it on the brakes going to turn 1. This is Jamie's first time racing in the wet, by the way, usually an indoor karter. And yeah, he just lost it in turn 1. And Dana slammed the brakes on, trying to avoid the spin. He ended up joining the accident himself, so that was unlucky there for Dana Rohan.
Rasool spins. Rasool goes all the way around. Dylan Davis is able to get through. There goes Ollie Smith as well, wearing his wetsuit. Difficult to identify the drivers with all of their wetsuits on. I think Rasool is now under a little bit of pressure from Henry Barrington as well, and he is losing 3 or 4 positions. That's a spin in the wet for Samuel Rasool. He's a fast driver in the wet, Luke, but he, you know, with all respect to him, he's blisteringly fast as well. He goes down the inside of Henry Barrington. There is the fight back. Barrington with a very good switchback move on that occasion. But Samuel Rasool, he has been struggling in these conditions.
I mean, yeah, in Sam's defence, this is his first time at Sandown Park. So I think he's doing a really good job here. Managed to qualify second in a remarkable job in qualifying. Did so well to set that 60.9 to qualify. But yeah, did make that mistake there. I was just watching his onboard when it happened. I think Samuel was basically going into turn 4, trying to make the move on Dylan Davis and nearly T-boned Andrew McWilliam in the process. He ended up locking up and spinning out in the process. So it was really unlucky from Samuel. He basically just crashed trying to avoid Andrew McWilliam. But I'm having a look now just ahead. You can see Ollie Smith, and he's all over the back of Dylan Davis here. Dylan Davis, he's very much used to the D-Max karts at Tamworth, not so used to these D-Max karts that they have here at Sandown Park and at Milton Keynes. He's not at all familiar with Sandown either. He's not a local at all. He lives up in the Midlands. So Dylan Davis doing a good job here of adjusting to this new circuit and these karts that he's not so used to. Doing a good job here up in P5.
Yeah, he is, and well, Dylan Davis, we know, is such a superb driver at Daytona Tamworth. It is a difficult adjustment. Everyone knows it's a difficult adjustment to come into D-Max cars that are slightly different. We can have a look at Henry Barrington as well. He's still just behind this little gaggle of cars. Dylan Davis leading it very well. We know Tamworth is a track. Actually, hold that thought. You can see on the picture-in-picture, Henry Barrington is pressurised by Samuel Rasool, and Rasool, I think, was just about able to get past him there, but Barrington back on the counter-attack once more. Let's ride on board with Samuel Rasool, see if he can have a little bit of a counter-attack. He's not able to string a move together, Luke. It must be frustrating for Samuel Rasool.
Must be really frustrating indeed. Like we say, qualified in second place, got off to that really good start. He was battling with Andrew McWilliam for P4, and he's just kind of gone down the order a little bit here. Now down in P8. Made a really good move then on Henry Barrington into turn 3, but Henry was smart to it, saw it coming, got the cut back, and he got Samuel back on the exit on turn 3.
There's Dylan Davis making a slight mistake out of the final corner, but it's not really going to amount to much. Barrington thinks about a little bit of a look down the inside of Ollie Smith, but again, just not quite the momentum to do that into the corner. I want to have a look again at Samuel Rasool because he's now attacking Henry Barrington. Very interesting battle developing here. Looks down the inside and just has to pull out of the move. Quick look over the shoulder from Samuel Rasool. I think he bogged down in the cart there for a moment, if you saw that, and then struggles to get the brakes applied properly. These guys squabbling over the minor positions, really. 5th position, Dylan Davis. But they're battling like it is for a podium. Obviously, every single point counts towards your final classification.
It's an absolutely fantastic race here between these guys battling for 5th place. Four-way fight. None of these drivers have ever been to Sandown Park before, aside from maybe 1 or 2 visits from Dylan when he was younger. So these guys are doing so well here. First time at Sandown, first time of course in the wet as well around here. Most of these aren't very used to D-Max karts either. I know Samuel, Henry and Ollie Smith are all quite new to D-Max. So they're doing a fantastic job here. But I'm just having a look at the live timing here. We've got JJ Hine out front. He is setting some scintillating lap times out front. He's pulled the gap to Sam Cole out front to 3.2 seconds, and JJ is doing consistent sub 61 second lap times. He's the only person in the 61s. The next fastest lap after him is Sam Cole, who did a 61.3 on the previous lap. Otherwise, it's JJ Hine. He is absolutely flying around here, doing such good lap times. We can see on board with him here with his cam box, which is a camera inside the crash unit. It's a fantastic camera angle. Yeah, JJ's doing so well here. I mean, JJ, he is a regular here. He does know his way around Sandown, lives 20 minutes down the road, but still doing an absolutely fantastic job here. He's only 14 years old, still very new to DMS cars, and he's just doing so well as we cut back now to this battle for 5th place. We're still on board with Samuel Rasool. Is he going to go for the move here? Yes, he is indeed. Up the inside of Henry Barrington, then into the final corner, but Henry, as we can see his picture up at the top left, he's managed to get the cut back, and he's managed to get back then into P7 and hold on to that 7th position.
He has. Rasool is going to try and come back at him. That's a couple of times Henry's gone for that switchback in a sort of aggressive defence. You know, you lose the position, tactically concede the position, then immediately get back forward. I think these guys know that they are right now squabbling over 7th position because, of course, the more they battle, the less chance they're going to have of getting up to Dylan Davis. There goes Rasool. It's a dive bomb. Down the inside he goes, and that is a brave move from Samuel Rasool. He's able to pull it off absolutely beautifully indeed. Henry Barrington's defence eventually gives in.
That was a really good move there by Samuel. It's the same place where he spun a few laps ago, but he managed to pull that one off there, sent up the inside of Henry, then into that left-hander, that kind of double left-hander in turn 4. And yeah, great move there by Samuel as he now finally seals that 7th position.
Got a couple of minutes left in this race. I think this is going to be the last lap. So let's have a look on board with JJ Hind, who is on his last lap. Now he's been shown the last lap board. He'll go through the final couple of corners. He's, well, into sector 2 right now. There are yellow flags flying a little bit further ahead. I'm not too sure if we've had a spinner or not. But anyway, JJ Hind will come home, and it looks like Luke is going to win this race.
He's doing so well. His last lap time then was a 60.132. That's a 60.1. The next best lap time set by anybody else in this race is Sam Cole with a 61.2. What a lap by JJ Hind, over a second a lap faster than everyone else. And as he exits his final corner here and comes and takes the check flag, he is going to take the win in lightweight race 1. What a drive there by JJ Hind. Such a good driver, only 14 years old and he's already this good.
Ollie Smith into the wall, Luke. He's into the wall. He's trying to get himself past Dylan Davis. Dylan knows that was aggressive. There's yet another tap. Dylan holds up his right arm. Ollie Smith is trying to get the cutback on him. They drag race to the line, but Dylan Davis just about holds on to 5th position.
What a finish that was. I mean, just behind as well. You can't see it in shot, but Samuel Rasool is only a 10th and a half behind Ollie. What a finish that was. We caught that right at the end there. That was so bad. But yeah, like I say, JJ Hind with the victory there, ahead of Sam Cole in 2nd place. With then Rory O'Regan, first time driving a D-Max car and first time at Sandown Park since he was a kid, finishing in P3. What a drive that was by Rory. We then got Andrew McWilliam again, first time here at Sandown since he was a kid, finishing in P4 ahead of Dylan Davis, as we saw in P5 with Ollie Smith. What is that? 200th of a second behind him in P6. We then got Samuel Rasool, who managed to recover then to 7th position with Henry Barrington not far behind in P8. Philip Babalao not far behind them, then in 9th position with Chris Bore in 10th. Got Jamie Sherman Chase, first time ever in the wet. He's usually an indoor karter, so this is the first time he's ever driven in the wet, finishing in P11 ahead of Callum Bendelow in 12th. Dana Roham managed to recover to P13 in the end, with Joshua Hero then rounding off the grid in P14. Now let's hand over to Tom, who's doing the post-race interviews, and he's with Samuel Rasool.
Okay, I'm here with Samuel Rasool. Samuel, difficult race out there. Look like very difficult conditions. Talk us through it.
Oh man, you know what? Actually, thought that I would have had it. You know, I was expecting to get P2, but damn, there was a guy who looked like he was gonna spin in front of me, and I didn't want to hit him, so I just braked a little bit extra harder, and then yeah, I spun, and then it was just down the drain after that.
Obviously, you've driven a fair bit today. How did conditions compare in race 1 to the other race and the practice you did earlier today?
Well, to be honest, I prefer, you know, very wet conditions, to be honest. Yeah, because when it's drying, you don't really know, you know, where you can brake hard or, you know what I mean. Yeah.
And, well, thank you for joining me, Sammy, and best of luck for race 2.
Cool, cheers.